Poor the Express love a poll. Don't they? They love a poll about the TV licence fee. I swear the Express are the only people out there talking about the telly licence more than me. Look at this one. Rishi Sunak should not be allowed to appoint BBC chair. It's a poll. Because yeah, the chairperson of the BBC is appointed by the government, not by the BBC themselves, which it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it, does it? Because the BBC is supposed to be independent. It's supposed to be not beholden to anybody apart from the licence fee payers. And they don't really care about that either, do they, to be honest? But how can they be completely independent of the government when the government are the people that collect the money for the licence fees for them and then appoint the chair? How can that make them completely independent of the government? And you've only got to look at Richard Sharp's appointment, the previous chair, the outgoing chair, to see that. You know, whether he did get the job as chair of the BBC because it was a grubby deal with Boris Johnson, we'll never know the real truth. And even if we were told the real truth, would you believe it, is the thing. But the fact that that sort of narrative came out taints the chair of the BBC, and that's why he had to step down. Should the government be allowed to appoint the chairperson of the BBC? Let's see the answers to this poll. I genuinely haven't looked at the results of this poll, so we can look at it together. Former BBC Director General Lord Tony Hall has called for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to give up his involvement in appointing the new chair of the public broadcaster following the resignation of Richard Sharp. When you say then, well, the Prime Minister appoints the chair, then there's a sort of wry grin and, you know, people think, well, is that really the independence you keep talking about? Yeah, that's it. They can't be independent of the government if the government appoints the chair, because you would appoint somebody who's friendly towards you, wouldn't you? On the nation's main public broadcaster, why would you not do that? So let's have a look at the answer on this. Should the next BBC chair be chosen by Rishi Sunak? Yes, 31%, no, 67%, and don't know, 2%. So that means 2% of the people who clicked on this article, read this article, saw there was a poll and wanted to get involved in it, said they... It does make me up. I swear the Express only put that in to wind me up. I swear they do. So it was a total of 1,378 readers responded, which isn't many, is it? It's not as many as you'd think the Express could get in a poll, is it? But yeah, I just don't agree with the chair being appointed by the government. You know, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, do you, anyway? So the BBC, would they broadcast everything they knew about the government? I don't believe so. And if the government have appointed the chair, who gets to sit there in his chair, or her chair, yeah, it's not right. How can you be? You can't be independent, can you? So others thought the chair should be selected independently, with this username claiming no, it should be an independent panel, while that long username thought there should be some involvement from Parliament, suggesting a cross-party committee. And some readers argue that Britain should have a say, with username Billy blah 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 writing, it should be chosen by people who pay the licence fee. We have a Director General, and he has many minions, I would imagine. Why do you need the chairperson? Why do you need to appoint another person to take money away from the gravy train? Why? If they're not appointed by the government, then you don't need them, do you? It goes to the top with the DG, give him new responsibilities, and it's done. The only reason for the chairperson is to get some kind of government control in there. It's like China. You can't have a big company in China without there being someone from the government working in your company. We're not in China. We don't need one, and we certainly don't need one appointed by the government. So what do you reckon about this? Do you reckon we need a chair? Do you reckon if we do need a chair that the government should appoint them? The government should have a hand in the British Broadcasting Corporation? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.